Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So I want to do a quick video talking about a documentary that I saw last night that just came out on July 4th, and that is the Chili Bowl Mullet Man documentary. So if you don't know what this is, the Chili Bowl Mullet Man is a guy named John Scoggin, hopefully I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, who lives in Springfield, Illinois. And the best way for me to put it is uh, every village or town or city sort of has someone that you see in the area a lot. Um, Maybe walking around doing something, or they don't drive, or some of them can be, off and they're collecting cans, perhaps, whatever. So you always have one person from like a town or a village that everyone knows. Oh, do you know so and so? We see him walking around all the time doing whatever. The difference here is there's nothing wrong with John, and he's very, very friendly and embraces his, town's like status that they gave him. So John is sort of a local Springfield, Illinois guy who walks around town, goes around his daily business, goes shopping, and has sort of become like, I don't want to use the term urban legend but everyone notices him. He's got a distinct haircut. He has his bangs are cut across like a bowl, and then he has long hair in the back like a mullet. So hence the name Chili Bowl Mullet Man. Um, he's sort of become like a local icon in the area. He goes on the radio stations. People stop him in the street and go, "Hey, Chili Bowl Mullet Man, let me take a picture with you. And what have you been up to?" And whatever. And you can see people are actually like genuinely excited. They're not making fun. They don't like, they're not goofing on his haircut or whatever because his style is a little different. It's nothing like that. It just seems more like he's a genuinely really friendly guy, and the people in the area have seen him around, and he's sort of gotten a little bit of a status because of it. So he has a Facebook page called Chili Bowl Mullet Man that I've been following for I think a couple months now. After I had seen him on the internet, um, that seems to be kind of his claim to fame. He was on the internet. I think at one point he was on MTV on Tosh.0, so that definitely on I think it was Ridiculousness if I remember correctly. Maybe not. Whatever. He was on one of not Tosh.0. It was Ridiculousness with the skater guy. I can't think of his name right now, but where they show Chili Bowl Mullet Man and talk about his hair and stuff. Um, Rob Deerdeck, that's it. That's the from Robin Big. So that's sort of been his claim to fame. He was on TV. People in the area know him, and he's sort of this like local icon. Um, so Travis Licky, who has a YouTube channel called Licky Pops, and I'm assuming um, is part of AF Films. He also seems to be a professional photographer. Did this 40-minute documentary. You can watch it on YouTube. I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. And it's also on Facebook on the Chili Bowl Mullet Man website on Facebook. So I watched this last night. I thought it was pretty interesting. I wanted to learn more about John and where he came from. They do delve into sort of how he got, semi-famous, how he's sort of this like local celebrity, the show Ridiculousness with Rob Deerdeck, and how he was on that, his video was on that show, so they were like kind of joking around about him, and he, got some traction from that. Um, and at this point, like I said, everyone kind of stops him in the street to talk to him and stuff. As I said, he's really seems to be a very well-natured individual, really happy, embraces his local legends type of status, talks to everyone. He hands out cards in the documentary. He has like St. Patrick's Day cards. So when people are stopping him trying to take photos, he's handing them the cards like Happy St. Patrick's Day from your buddy Chili Bowl Mullet Man. He does talk a little bit about his family and his upbringing. His father sadly had passed away a few years ago. They do interview his mother a little bit, and some of his friends. So they give a little insight into John and how they met him, and the kind of person he is. And as I said, he seemed just like a genuinely likable, positive-natured person, which you don't see much any longer, especially in the type of person that, let's say, walks around town and becomes usually sort of known or well known for something. Usually those people are sort of negative and don't like the attention. So this is just the opposite, where John embraces it and gets friendly with everyone. Um, I thought the documentary was fun. I thought Travis Licky did a good job on it, and John was very likable. The only thing I would say that I didn't like about the documentary was I wished it was a little more in depth in regards to John's past. Maybe, he talks briefly about he didn't have a lot of friends in school. He was sort of, I don't want to use the word outcast, that's a little too harsh, but he was sort of, to himself more. People, he had the haircut, so he stood out. Um, and he talks about his mom and his dad a little bit. He didn't seem extremely well, I guess, rehearsed or ready when they would ask him questions. So he'd sort of like meander when he was speaking and kind of go back and forth. Oh, yeah, he didn't really have a ton of substance sometimes on his responses when people would talk to him about himself or this like local character he's become. He does touch upon how, like, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman is known for Wolverine, but really he's Hugh Jackman. So the Chili Bowl Mullet Man is, just this persona that people have kind of dubbed him, but really he's John Scoggin, and he just kind of plays it up to, lighten up everyone's day, which is nice. But I do wish it was a little more in depth regarding him as a person. I don't know how personal he wanted to get. That might be something he chose that he said, you know what, I don't want to get too personal on here and tell people where I work or where exactly I'm from or, how I grew up. Maybe he wanted a little more lighthearted and kind of simplistic in a way, which is completely understandable. But I think it's a fun character. I think John seems like I said, a likable individual who's really embraced this little local celebrity thing he has going. Maybe he'll do more with it and do something to, make a living or follow up with it. Um, who knows? Some people get, T-shirts and book deals and whatever else. So hopefully he gets himself a little more out there and keeps himself in the local limelight and, grows with his. I've never seen. Usually, you see people who are like local celebrities who, like I said, are negative or something's up with them or maybe they're off. The only thing really John has is that his haircut is very distinct, and everyone in the area knows him from the area. So it's kind of funny that a haircut would do that. One of the guys he's friends with in the movie, in the documentary, says that John sort of embraces this sort of almost like 60s type haircut with this sort of peaceful, positive outlook, the way like some of the 60s and 70s represented. And that was kind of an interesting take on things. So check out the Chili Bowl Mullet Man Facebook page. It's pretty funny. I think, he seems to really get a kick out of it, and most people do too. And the documentary is free. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. So if you have any interest in seeing this, Springfield, Illinois character, then check it out. It's all very lighthearted and easygoing. It's nothing crazy. So thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I look forward to seeing some more Chili Bowl Mullet Man content in the future. Be good.